Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. The first 30 minutes of this segment will be very, very important in understanding why Trump is ready to fire DOJ Rod Rosenstein, why Trump should, the conflicts of interest pertaining to Rosenstein, Comey, and the Mueller probe, the fact that there's already been a House resolution condemning Rod Rosenstein's lack of compliance regarding a whole bunch of things, documents specifically. And I want to thank first and foremost Silence Do-Good. Thank you so much. Even before the segment, thank you, H-Ray. I got to use my New York Magazine article to red pill a friend. Thank you, Silence Do-Good. A lot of people don't realize that, just information found in publications that are read by the same people who are protesting today or this week shows that Obama did the same or worse as Trump without protest, without widespread condemnation from the left or from Democrats. That's called hypocrisy. And that bolsters the belief and the reality that Democrats are just playing politics. They don't care about a specific value system. Rosenstein's conflicts of interest undermine legitimacy of Mueller investigation. That's the Hill. That's the Hill. I'll read that in a second. We have 216 people watching in 2 minutes. The first 30 minutes of this is very important. Number one, Rod Rosenstein wrote the document or the legal justification for firing James Comey. James Comey should have been fired under President Obama. Why was James Comey fired? James Comey was fired for his handling of the Clinton email investigation. Well, what specifically? Please resend the Times Guardian articles links, so I will right now. So let's go ahead. But number two, why was James Comey fired? James Comey was fired because he was not the Attorney General. The Attorney General was Loretta Lynch. He stated, and here you go, Guardian article, Silence Do Good. I just sent the Guardian article right now. I will find the other article in a second, or later on in this segment for sure. But I just want to make sure that I get to everything right now. So I just sent the Guardian article right now. And ladies and gentlemen, if you could find the Hill article, it should be in the description of the last section, the last segment. Silence Do Good. The last segment of my the description section of the segment prior to this one has in the description the Hill article, the New York Magazine article, okay, and then I just sent the Guardian article here. But the New York Times, Nicholas Kristof, that if somebody can go ahead and put and share that link, it's Obama is sending kids to die. It's Nicholas Kristof in 2016 regarding immigrant children. One of the great journalists. I'll send it right now. So I'll send it right now. So okay, hold on one second. Obama sending. We're helping deport kids to die. That's the actual. We're helping deport kids to die. That's the opinion piece of Nicholas Kristof. $331 people. So Silence Do Good. That's the New York Times piece. So number one, Rod Rosenstein wrote the legal justification for President Trump to fire James Comey. Number two, James Comey was fired for his handling of the Clinton email investigation. Number three, he was fired specifically because he was not the Attorney General. He was not charged with the responsibility to decide whether to indict. His only job as director of the FBI is to present the evidence to the Department of Justice and have the Department of Justice decide whether or not to indict. That's what the Attorney General, that's why we have an Attorney General. Okay? When Michael Horowitz of the IG states, oh, well, we didn't find any bias of the prosecutors, FBI prosecutors, in their decision not to indict Clinton. That's because the prosecutors were not given this special access program intelligence. There was no grand jury used because there was too much special access program intelligence. It says that in the Inspector General report. So when people say, well, she was already exonerated, no, they could not even find a jury capable of looking at all of this nonsense because there was so much classified intelligence found within her emails. It's not about emails, it's about a server. So her emails were located outside the US government on a server. Ladies and gentlemen, Clinton will get charged eventually, whether it's the Espionage Act, this scandal, Clinton Foundation, campaign finance. If Al Capone and Richard Nixon, who were at their heydays infinitely a lot more powerful than Hillary. Hillary Clinton is not a powerful individual. She's well connected. Her power is derived from Bill Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, and people that she knew within the US government. All of those sources of power, influence, or prestige, or whatever, all of those are simply dwindling every single day. Missy Pfeiffer, thank you. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Missy Pfeiffer. Thank you. Thank you again, Missy Pfeiffer. Thank you. Thank you to everybody in the super chat. Thank you, Missy Pfeiffer. Thank you so much. So number one, Rod Rosenstein has tremendous conflicts of interest. He wrote the document, the legal justification to fire James Comey. Then, miraculously, he was also involved in signing off on a FISA warrant that was only given because of the Steele dossier. Horace, thank you so much for your continued generosity and support of this channel. Horace, thank you so very much. Missy Pfeiffer and Horace, thank you. Thank you, Missy. Thank you, Horace. Thank you so much. So then after writing the justification to fire Comey, what Rod Rosenstein does is he then says, well, let's go ahead and use James Comey's classified memos because they're classified. Bob Goodlatte had to look at these in a SCIF, a sensitive compartmented information facility. Ladies and gentlemen, Comey's memos, 4 of the 7 are classified. And then he just unilaterally decides to give them to his professor friend who was an FBI informant at one point, Daniel Richman. This is all backed up. This is all backed up by the New York Times, The Hill. Rick Yurzik. H.A. love what you do, brother. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick Yurzik. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Horace. Thank you, Missy. So he writes the justification for Comey to be fired. Then he says, well, we have to have Mueller to investigate whether it was right that Comey was fired. The only thing they could have gotten Trump on, because they have no evidence and they're bluffing, and the DNC never gave its computer service to the FBI, and the DNC is being sued by BuzzFeed, and CrowdStrike was purchased by Hillary Clinton. All of this is a complete charade and facade. There's no evidence. And by the way, James Clapper lied under oath. John O'Brien lied under oath. And oh, by the way, James Comey is now being investigated for leaking classified intelligence. And also he's being investigated by the Office of Professional Responsibility, as is Peter Strzok, Sally Moyer, Lisa Page. Kevin Kleinsmith, all of these people, and mainly Peter Strzok and Comey. The Office of Professional Responsibility also was the reason that Andrew McCabe doesn't have his pension, or most of his pension, or was fired. The Office of Professional Responsibility is the reason that all of these people will eventually flip. Vance, thank you. Good evening, family. C. Clinton, L. Lynch meeting was coordinated according to the IG report. So much for Brexit and grandchildren. You know, Vance, thank you so much. Thank you, Vance. I just want you to know my meeting with Loretta Lynch was coordinated. And I just want to let you know that I did bring a bottle of Asti Spumante. But we weren't alone. How can I bring a bottle of Asti Spumante and speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren? I'm going to speak about something more sensual. I'm going to speak about love. But of course, Hillary Clinton, my wife, made sure that I couldn't enjoy myself. So we had to go ahead and talk about golf and Brexit and grandchildren, even though you know how I do. 350 Cliff, thank you. Thank you, 350 Cliff. Thank you. Thank you, 350 Cliff. Thank you. Thank you so much. Brooke Watts, thank you. Me and my wife, Hannah, love you. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Brock Watts. Brock Watts, thank you. Thank you, Brock. Thank you, Hannah, for watching. Thank you, Brock and Hannah, for watching. I'm going to get back to my Bill Clinton. I've been so stressed. I tried to relax a long time ago with Monica. Again, Hillary ruined that. I called Loretta Lynch. I said, what are you doing in Phoenix? Maybe we can hang out. Again, Hillary ruined that. For the life of me, I can't understand why Hillary Clinton won't allow Bill Clinton to relax. But of course, she was having brunch with Peter Strzok, and I wonder what else they were doing. From what I understand, Peter Strzok is a straight shooter. And when I tell you straight, I mean hard and straight and forward, kind of like me, although I kind of swing like a boomerang. Anyway, I got to go. But I want everyone to know that I did everything for the good of the nation. Poo-poo out. So then he is told, hey, produce documents. Because you have, what Rod Rosenstein did was he helped start, Missy and Horace, thank you again. He helped start an investigation without a crime being accused. So when Eric Swalwell, Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, says to Rod Rosenstein and Christopher Wray, has there ever been an example of an unindicted subject who was given evidence? The question is so disingenuous. It's almost like protesting ICE now, but not protesting ICE when you were when it was under Obama. We have 500, 600 people watching this live stream. Go ahead and text this out, send this out on Twitter, Facebook. Ame, thank you. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. Rod Rosenstein is actually Daffy Duck. True story. Rod Rosenstein, I look, you know what? There's a character that, was it like Mad Magazine? He has that face that it's very, like he thinks he knows something, but he doesn't really, Rod Rosenstein is actually Daffy Duck. True story. Ami, thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but thank you so much. Ami, thank you. Thank you very, very much for your support of this channel. Very generous of you. Thank you. Rod Rosenstein was told, why have you been keeping documents from, that's another thing, it's number 5 or 6, I forgot where I'm at, but he's keeping documents from Congress. Now, there was a House resolution condemning Rod Rosenstein. That he has a what, July 6th? So Mr. Daffy Duck has a July 6th deadline. July 6th, full compliance. House vote 226 to 183. You think the 183 people want Daffy Duck to comply? I don't think so. Sniffle, sniffle, sniffle. Sniffle, sniffle, sniffle. I'm not the one doing the redacting, sir. I'm not the one doing the redacting. Really? You're not the one doing the redacting? Well, then keep the hundreds of thousands of documents we want. If you're not the one doing the redacting, then let's just forget about all of this. We can have Mueller impeach Trump for jaywalking and give Hillary the crown, and everything will be good for Democrats. Then they can go ahead and impose and deport 2.5 million people using ICE without any problems. I'm not the one doing the redacting. Snivel, snivel. Well, then who's doing the redacting? Is there a shortage of markers? Do you not have the technology to do redacting faster? Or are you covering your tuchus, your behind, your derriere for a $70,000 whatever? And then he says, well, it's a FISA. I can't talk about FISA. Oh, okay. You can't talk about the FISA that you... Did you read it? Louis Gohmert's like... Louis Gohmert's awesome, but it's just awesome. Just, you know, deliberately. You mean to tell me that you did not read the FISA application? Now, I want to tell you that I was a judge, and I would look at this with a jaundiced eye. And then you hear Rosenstein like, yes, sir, that would be really bad, sir. But unfortunately, you don't understand how things work. Well, how do they work? Well, sir, it was approved by 500 million, billion, trillion FISA judges. They all looked at it beforehand. Really? Really, Daffy Duck? Thank you, Ami, again. Thank you. Thank you. Really, Daffy Duck? I'll have you know I don't do the redacting. Sniffle, sniffle, sniffle. And then it was approved by 3 judges. And an FBI agent swore under oath. Really? Well, who was the FBI agent? Peter Strzok? Because he's swearing under oath a whole bunch. You know, he's swearing and doing a whole bunch of things and stooping left and right. They're all stooping each other. It's an FBI dating service. They're all dating each other. They're getting married. They're dating. They're having letting off steam. They're getting nationals tickets and they're getting free dinners and nice DC restaurants from the media. And the media is getting it from the Clinton campaign and from the DNC. They're all getting it. They're all hooking it up. They're all getting it and doing it all over each other. Gabbers, thank you very much, Gabbers. Thank you, Gabbers. Thank you, Ami, again, very, very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thank you, Ami. And thank you, Gabbers. Thank you, Gabbers. But at the end of the day, the conflicts of interest So it's 19 minutes in. The first 30 minutes is very important. But you cannot have a person who approved a FISA warrant then fire James Comey, who also utilized the FISA warrant to spy on Carter Page, which makes Rod Rosenstein complicit in part of the fabrication. It was a fabrication. What people like Bill Maher and others need to realize is there was nothing in the Steele dossier in terms of major allegations that prove any collusion aside from Hillary Clinton's collusion with Russia. Trump did not get peed on by prostitutes in Moscow as he was writing a check to Russian hackers to hack the DNC to inform the country of how utterly miserable and corrupt Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Hillary Clinton and all of them were in cheating Bernie. And just because Rod Rosenstein is Jewish and I'm Jewish, nothing to do with it. So there's one comment. There are good people and bad people in every religion, every background. You call them out. It doesn't matter if you're the same background. That's why identity politics doesn't work. That's why just basic logic. You use basic logic. It doesn't matter whether the person is Jewish, Christian, Muslim, white, black, Latino, Asian. It doesn't matter. But what Rod Rosenstein did is that he signed a FISA warrant. He did not inform the judge that the Steele dossier was purchased by Hillary Clinton. Then he helped fire James Comey, who utilized the Steele dossier to spy on Carter Page. Why is it that all these people were spied on and no evidence exists? So when Bill Maher with Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro I respect greatly. I think he's fantastic. Bill Maher I think is a brilliant comedian. I think he's completely brainwashed and he has no idea what's going on in terms of politics. Absolutely no idea. He is a brilliant comedian though, and he's been a voice in politics for a long time, Bill Maher. But he says, well, how come all of these meetings took place? What meetings? What meetings? Natalia Veselnitskaya was let into the country by Loretta Lynch's Justice Department. She met before and after with Fusion GPS, Glenn Simpson. And oh, by the way, if Clinton's emails, if Trump Jr. or anyone could get a hold of Clinton's emails, that means her email server was hacked. Her email server was hacked because it was outside the U.S. government. And if you say, well, the government gets hacked, it doesn't matter. At least it's within the U.S. government. At least it has all the protections and safeguards of what the taxpayers pay for. Her email server was unencrypted for 6 months, close to 6 months. She used an AT&T email address. Bobby Sprinkle. Rod Rosenstein is a street sissy. Thank you, Bobby Sprinkle. Thank you. Thank you, Bobby. Rod Rosenstein is a bureaucrat. He's a bureaucrat like James Comey, like Andrew McCabe, like Peter Strzok, like Lisa Page, like Sally Moyer, like Clevin Kleinsmith, like Agent 1 and Agent 2.35 and 3.75. And they're all going to get undone politically by bureaucracy. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by bureaucracy, you die by your political demise comes from bureaucracy. But let's just go ahead and if you look, so there's a July 6th deadline. He's not giving documents needed by Congress, and it doesn't take that long. If he's not the person doing the redacting, sorry, buddy. You can't say it's an ongoing FISA. You can't say that you can't comment, number one, on FISA abuses. You can't say that it's classified because all of this emanates from Clinton's server that's supposed to be not that big of an issue? Why is everything simply classified or redacted? If you listen to Democrats, well, everyone does what Clinton did. Really? A server with top secret intelligence? Well, it's not that big of a deal. Well, then why is everything redacted and classified? Why was it so difficult to impanel a grand jury? Because she had special access program intelligence. So you can't say, well, it's classified. Oh, it's a FISA. Oh, this happened under Loretta Lynch. PMC, Ammo Fund. Where can I get a like? Ammo, thank you. Thank you so much. I have a surprise, and a cool surprise for my Second Amendment channel very soon. Very proud of it. And everyone's going to... My buddy Stuart Braden, who was on this live stream, gave me a fantastic idea. I don't know if Mr. Braden is listening, but he gave me a PMC, thank you so much. Ammo Fund, where can I get a life-sized H.A. Goodman tattoo? Be safe, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As you can see, I have tattoos here, so might not have known that, but anyway. And that's also another reason in terms of ammo. 45 ACP, very prevalent, very. So one reason I like, so like 9mm, just real quick, and I'm sorry, 27 minutes in, and real quick, and I'll just, like, very popular, but I enjoy my 9mm. I'm like pretty accurate with, actually, really accurate, because I like more powerful. And revolvers are like, if you go revolver and then start shooting semi-auto, like a 357, the kick from that, and then you go to a 9mm semi-auto, you know, it's just it's almost like swinging a bat with weights, and then you take the weights off, and then it's just easier to swing. But I was this close to actually purchasing a 10mm Glock 20, and it's just very difficult to find the 10mm ammo. And I am done with expensive ammo. I'm done. It's very difficult to shoot my 500 Smith & Wesson, the 50. Obviously, I didn't realize that. I knew it would be difficult, but I didn't realize how difficult. But anyway, it's true. Real reason. No, well, there are Jewish cemeteries that are okay with it, actually. I don't think that nowadays. I mean, there's religious cemeteries that are a problem with it, but I don't think it's too much of a problem. But you're right about that. All right, so so anyway, 45 ACP I like. It's my favorite round. So my favorite round by far. Rosenstein, conflicts of interest. Rosenstein conflicts undermine legitimacy of Mueller investigation. So let's go ahead. So let's just go ahead right now. And I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that a really wonderful, wonderful, wonderful journalist, Cheryl Atkinson, Rosenstein conflicts of interest undermine the legitimacy of the Mueller probe. We're in the midst of one of the most important scandals in memory. Our intel agencies and some public officials within them were suspected of abusing power and misusing sensitive tools under their control as political weapons. The allegations reach far beyond the 2016 campaign and transcend party politics. By the way, love my British peeps, people who watch from the UK. Love you. Your intelligence services helped undermine our democracy. I love you. Don't know how much love I have for GCHQ. But thanks, GCHQ. You teamed up with, and it wasn't even MI6. It was like Christopher Steele, who was an MI6 agent who had so many contacts in Russia that he actually never met. So, and then this is another thing they're so proud of. When they're documenting, I think it was Vanity Fair, when all these people are documenting all of this taking place, the hilarious thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that they went ahead and they documented like how Christopher Steele, an MI6 agent, how he managed to gather information. Well, how did he do it, Vanity Fair? Well, he didn't step foot in Russia. So all of it was conducted via phone calls and emails. Can we subpoena the emails, Rod Rosenstein, from Christopher Steele? Is that possible? You can't subpoena phone calls, sir, sniffle, sniffle. You can't go back in time into some quantum physics reality and go back and while it's taking place, subpoena those. How about phone records, Rosenstein? So, Jonathan, that's an interesting. Leave Rod Rosenstein there. That's interesting. The only thing is though. So, like one viewpoint could be make sure Rosenstein stays there. The only problem though is that, well, that's true. I mean, all of this, Clinton will eventually get indicted. You know this when you watch this channel. But that's an interesting thought to keep Rosenstein there so Congress continues to get more pissed off or more angry. So the original resolution, Jim Jordan's like, if you mess with us again, we're gonna censor you, and we're gonna have this non-binding resolution to say how angry we are at you, but nothing really is gonna happen. So I think they have to go through a whole bunch of steps. So they have this resolution, and they have a July 6th deadline. Now, if he gives some emails, but not all the emails they want on Russia and Clinton emails on Mueller. So the Mueller probe is essentially done. The Mueller probe is essentially done. You cannot have a Mueller probe without any evidence. So that's why I love Ben Shapiro. I think he's fantastic, but I have no idea. And he's such a logical human being. Like he's like uber logical and rational. And I think that he's awesome. Except his line in the sand, he said, is if Mueller gets fired. I have no idea. I want Mueller to be fired yesterday. Mueller is investigating. There's no crime that Trump is said to have committed. There's no predicate crime. There's no precedent here. There's no predicate crime. And furthermore, there's no evidence. They don't even have evidence of even anything. Russian hacking, Russian influence. The $46,000 worth of Facebook ads did not influence the election, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know why? I've advertised on Facebook before. I got bupkis. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Nothing. It was expensive, and I didn't get anything from it. I've advertised on Reddit. Actually, a lot of money. That wasn't fantastic either, but it was a lot better than Facebook. Those are from my novels that I wrote a couple years back. I wrote 2 novels, Logic of Demons and Breaking the Devil's Heart. Anyway, a little trivia about, not that anyone cares. Jesse, H.A., you are now a base Jew. Shapiro lost his slot. I love your IQ content. You are the best. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. The interesting thing is, though, Shapiro is actually conservative. I don't think could be defined as a conservative, but I love Trump's destruction of vapid norms, like this reverence of the intelligence community when the intelligence community is out for itself. Thank you, Jesse, so much. Thank you, Jesse. Greatly appreciated. She lives for Jesus. Thank you. She lives for Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. She lives for Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. She lives for Jesus. Adambon 31458. Thank you. Thank you. But where is this? So, okay, in this context, this is Cheryl Atkinson, The Hill. In this context, it seems unreasonable to be expected to uncritically accept assurances from Rosenstein and other figures and federal agencies, such as the CIA, FBI, and DOJ. Exactly. When they're caught, they say, that's classified. It's an ongoing investigation. We can't comment on FISA. Really? What do you know? Your wife catches you with lipstick on your collar. And she says, why is that lipstick on your collar? And you say, it's classified, honey. I didn't do the redacting. It's an ongoing FISA application. I wasn't there. Loretta Lynch was there with Bill Clinton speaking about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. I can't tell you. It can't go on. And she's like, get the heck out of my house. Here's lipstick on your collar. Why do you have your ex-boyfriend on speed dial? Well, honey, he's only on speed dial because I can't do the redacting. I didn't do the redacting. And, I wasn't there when Loretta Lynch and James Comey were there, and it's classified and it's an ongoing investigation. These stupid, idiotic, dumb, bureaucratic excuses are nothing more than overt lies masked as bureaucratic excuses, just bureaucratic reasoning. Why don't you think that you should stop the Mueller probe? Because it says right here, Peter Strzok, who was in charge of mid-year and crossfire hurricanes, said we're going to stop Trump and we're going to have an insurance policy called Trump Russia. Well, that's bad. And I assure, another crazy thing. I share your concern. I feel your pain. Believe me, I feel your pain. I want to let you know something right now. Your pain is my pain. Your pain is my pain. I feel it. And I'm going to feel more than that. You trust me. I'm going to feel a lot more. But all your concerns are my concerns, except the difference is I'm not going to do anything about them. I'm going to make sure that your concerns are heightened by making your life worse. That's how I do. That's how I roll. Lexdad 1193 H8 Dick Morris said Rosenstein's wife Lisa Barsumian is a longtime Clinton Obama. What do you know about this? It would make sense. I think Dick Morris is right. And then of course they're going to say, well, that doesn't mean anything. It does. It means a lot. You know, if Trump, if they had the connections, if all these people had the connections to Trump as they have to Clinton, if they said, we're going to stop Clinton. If you look at all those texts and remove Trump and put Clinton in, they would never, ever, ever dare. They would say that it was a plot from the beginning, which it was against Trump. They're already blaming Bernie, the Electoral College, sexism, Russian Facebook ads. They're blaming everything. It's $1.2 billion of blame. What do you expect? Lexdad 1193, thank you. Rose Quartz, they never thought she would lose. Rose Quartz, thank you so much for your support. And, you know, Lexdad also for your support. I have so many people who are so wonderful. And it's the super chat that keeps this live streams going. Otherwise, I would just upload like I've done for 2 years. But Rose Quartz, thank you so much for your support. Yeah, they never thought she'd lose. Jesse, thank you again, Jesse. Ami, thank you. So Rose Quartz is 100% right. For his part, Rosenstein has several potential conflicts of interest. This is Cheryl Atkins in The Hill, at least in perception. And in the realm of legal ethics, perception counts. Not just, well, I would say perception, but also his behavior. Rosenstein recommended that President Trump fire FBI Deputy James Comey, then handpick Robert Mueller to investigate why Trump fired Comey. Beautifully stated. in a much better manner than I could have ever done. Terry Clemens, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Paul Clank, thank you. We want you and HB on Greg Gutfeld's Saturday Night Show as a duo. You would rock. Thank you, Paul. Love HB. Hard Bastard is awesome. Thank you, Paul. I would like that a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Joshua Feellove. Joshua Feellove, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and do a sessions right now because you asked. Thank you, Joshua. And cha-ching, cha-ching. Trump might withdraw from WTO. Thoughts? I think it would be wild to watch the leftists defend WTO. My name change was for this live stream, by the way. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Thank you. Thank you, cha-ching, cha-ching. Thank you. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Thank you. Thank you. I'll get to that in just 1 second. I'm going to do a sessions. Okay, this is sessions talking about Comey. Hi, Mr. President. How are you? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Hot cocoa? Is that what you're drinking? Good. Well, I'm upset. I'm going to tell you right now I'm upset. I heard James Comey is talking doo-doo about me. Yeah. Well, he's upset that he's going to get, poop canned by the Office of Professional Responsibility. Yes. Yeah, they're going after him for his classified memos. They're going to do him the way he didn't do Hillary. Yes, I know. You tell him to go ahead and meet me. And tell Scaramucci also. I'll take them both on. I get Scaramucci first, is my hat. And then I'll jump on Comey's knees. I'm going to bite his knees, yeah. First, I'm going to hit it up, tenderize it with some punches, make it tender. I'm going to bite into it like a vampire from Alabama. Alabama vampire. They call me the Alabama vampire. I sink my teeth. I sink my canines. Yes. All right, sir. Thank you. Oh, they're all going to get it. And eventually Clinton will get it. And it's going to be fantastic. Yes. Okay. Poo-poo out. All right, great. Joshua Feellove, thank you. Thank you, Joshua Feellove. The interesting thing about this is a leaked Trump bill. Axios has obtained a leaked draft of Trump's administration bill ordered by the president himself that would declare America's abandonment of fundamental World Trade Organization rules. The thing is, the draft legislation around the bill essentially provides Trump a license to raise U.S. tariffs at will without congressional consent. International rules be damned. Well, yeah, that's the thing. If the EU hides behind regulations as a form of tariffs, that's the problem here. They're like, "Oh, tariffs are bad." Well, what about regulations that serve as a tariff? So, I think it's fantastic. I think what Trump is doing for the most part is fantastic. Some things I disagree with, but Tammy Adams, thank you. Thank you, Tammy Adams. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. Cha-ching, cha-ching. So I think that there's so people are like, oh my God, he's gonna, we're gonna leave all these cherished organizations. Well, is China playing fair in terms of dumping steel? A commodity with a global commodity price. You dump steel, the price decreases, hurts the U.S. steel industry. Now Trump is protecting the steel industry. It's not forever. A lot of the things Trump does, sniffles. A lot of the things Trump does, they're meant as negotiating tactics and tools. And a lot of people don't understand that people who enjoy Trump, They enjoy the fact that Trump angers the Debbie Wasserman Schultzes, the Hillary Clintons, the Hollywood elites of the world. They don't understand. They think that the world is run by famous, wealthy people. If Trump angers them, then for a great many of us, it's a good thing. These are the same people who think Russia interfered in the election but can't explain one vote being altered. One vote. A Facebook ad of Satan arm wrestling Jesus did not alter one vote. A Buff Bernie coloring book did not alter one vote. Not one vote was altered. It's okay. So Rosenstein recommended that President Trump fire James Comey, then handpicked Robert Mueller to investigate why Trump fired Comey. It's akin to you or I being allowed to hire the guy who's going to judge our own actions. Not only that, Rosenstein's pick, Mueller, is a longtime colleague of Comey's, whose own behavior was found to be extraordinary and insubordinate, according to the recent DOJ's Inspector General report. The Office of Professional Responsibility, the NYPD, the New York Field Office, the FBI New York Field Office, the NYPD, and the Office of Professional Responsibility at the Bureau are three departments or organizations that have patriots within them. Happy Canada Day, by the way. There are three organizations with patriots within them that are helping save this country. When it goes down, ladies and gentlemen, you will see a temper tantrum of biblical proportions from the media. They will rally around Hillary Clinton. They will first say, how dare, because Andrew McCabe's going to get indicted eventually. I think that James Comey has a great chance of getting indicted. I think that Peter Strzok has a good chance of either getting indicted or definitely feeling the wrath of the Office of Professional Responsibility. Then you have Lisa Page and all the others, about 10 FBI agents, who'll be taken down by the bureaucracy that they so, feverishly utilize for their own political purposes. And they won't be able to hide behind stupid, ignorant bureaucratic rules. Well, we were told that we didn't have to care about how Clinton transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. That's what their rebuttal will be in court. So if they want to go play ball, you want to play ball? You want a shot at the champion? I didn't have this belt for about 30 years because I'm not the champion. You want a shot at the title? You want some static? You ain't going to be able to hide behind, I wasn't there, it's classified, and we weren't told about how she transferred information. You ain't going to be able to hide behind how you said, well, they didn't tell us how she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence outside the U.S. government. Well, it was none of our beeswax. Oh, really? Well, it's your beeswax now. It's your beeswax. Y'all going downtown? So when they eventually get indicted, fired, censored, demoted, they're going to say, we didn't know that it was important. We didn't know that it was important that we care about how she transferred top secret and special access program intelligence. Well, guess what? You were investigating how she handled the classified emails. That's how she handled them. She took them from one place and put them in another location. That's called handling. I have a different way of handling things. Sometimes I don't even use any hands to handle things, if you can imagine. In fact, think about that tonight while you're thinking about me. The wiretaps Rosenstein signaled had relied in part on anti-Trump political opposition research, so he also approved a FISA warrant that he didn't read. And Louis Gohmert Paul Clank. YouTube policies. I don't know if I can read that, but I'm serious. Indict them all. Indict them all. Thank you, Paul Clank. Thank you. A little bit different from indict them, but you can read the message, ladies and gentlemen. Ame, thank you so much. Thank you, Ame, for your generosity and support. After sessions, I will never trust another Keebler elf. Thank you, Ame. Thank you so much for your support and generosity. My goodness, thank you, Ame. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do a sessions for that one. Thank you, Ame. Let me just make sure the volume keeps messing up here. Ame, thank you so much. He does look like a Keebler elf, and Ame, I will never trust it. Hi, Mr. President. How are you today? Good. There's something they're calling me a Keebler elf, and I don't know whether it's my ears that kind of jut out like a big elf ears, or the fact that I'm 5 foot or 4'11", whatever. I'm 5'4" with my high heels, with my yes. Well, I don't know, but I want to tell you something. I have a new nickname for myself. It's called the Chewy, Angry, Dangerous Keebler Elf. Is that good? No, it's not good. Okay. I don't know. Brennan, Clapper, they're all going down. Just make it slow. Make it hard and slow. That's what I'm saying. All right, thank you, sir. Sorry to bother you. What were you doing? Okay. Spider-Man underoos. All right, thank you so much. Okay, bye. Thank you, Ami. Thank you so much. After sessions, I will never trust another Keebler elf. Thank you. Double D. I agree, Ame. So Double D agrees with you. Thank you, Ame. Thank you. I agree, Ame. Thank you. It's you know what? But I gotta say this. I do believe that Sessions is a slow-moving. I'm like a 3-inch garden snake. You don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna wrap around your finger and eventually do the dirty. I'll get you. You don't even know. Like, what's this garden snake doing on my little pinky? And then suddenly you're on the ground. I think that Sessions is slowly building political will, and Clinton will eventually get indicted from all the people who eventually turn on her. You can't have so Paul Clank, thank you. Ame, thank you very, very much for your generosity. Thank you. Without the super chat, I would just upload like I've done for 2 years, but thank you. What Sessions is doing, we're almost at a 1 hour, and we're 885 people strong. What Sessions is doing is slowly amassing political and public support, because Terry Clemens, some of us still say Dominion Day, not Canada Day. Thank you. Happy Dominion Day. Rick Yurzik, Ame nailed it. Ame, will you? People agree. After Sessions, I will never trust. I will never trust another Keebler elf. But I think that I think that Sessions will eventually be known as somebody who did his job wonderfully. I think that ultimately what Sessions is doing, because at first I was like, what is this guy doing? But I think that what he's doing eventually will be seen as the slow demise of the Clinton dynasty. James Comey will turn on Clinton. Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, they'll all turn on Clinton. Right now, They think that they're still in the driver's seat. The problem is, not everyone's in Andrew McCabe's position. Andrew McCabe got the worst raw deal ever, even though he was part of everything. They're going to find out why McCabe and Strzok and all of them flew to London. They're going to find out why what about the meeting between Lisa Page, Strzok, and Andrew McCabe in his office. They're going to find out all these things. They're going to find out how exactly. Well, they're also, the Mueller probe is essentially ended. They can't get Trump. People are tiring of the Mueller probe. And if he fires Mueller tomorrow, the outrage about Mueller, which nobody in the country really cares about except for people who don't like Trump, there are not enough people in the United States of America who don't like Trump to allow Democrats to win again. I will say it again. The same people who didn't like Trump on November 8th, 2016 will not like Trump in 2020 or in the congressional elections and midterms, and that won't be enough for Democrats. Because for every person that finally realized, oh, I don't like Trump, he's not the president I thought he would be, there's 2 or 3 others who were like, I hate the media, I hate the media, I hate the DNC and the Democratic Party. For every anti-Trump person that was created post November 8th, 2016, there are 3 or 4 who can't stand the media, who can't stand Hollywood, who can't stand the Democratic Party. There's hashtag walk away. There's not hashtag walk into. There's no hashtag joining the Democratic Party now. That doesn't exist. And not everyone looks at bureaucrats. People generally don't like bureaucrats, even if you're in a corporation. So I'll continue with the Hill. The wiretaps Rosenstein signed had relied in part on anti-Trump political opposition research known as the Steele dossier. The FBI reportedly had not strictly verified the research as required under the FBI's Woods procedures. Hello. 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 Hello there. So that's another example of the FBI. And Christopher Wray of the FBI is a... You know that's the Michael Jackson song, Smooth Criminal. Smooth criminal. Christopher Wray is a smooth bureaucrat. He's not like Sniffles. Sniffles. I'm not the one doing the redacting, sir. Really? Well, that's just great. Who's doing the redacting, by the way? Then you have like people on MSNBC like Jim Jordan is a McCarthy era. McCarthy blamed Russia for everything. Democrats blame Russia for everything. There's a direct analogy, or no, not analogy, direct equivalency. The McCarthy era madness of today, the new Joseph McCarthy type politicians are Democrats. They don't even see the irony and the historical irony in any of this because they don't know history. They don't care. He worked with Russia. Well, did he give uranium? No, that was Obama, but don't talk about that because it's been debunked. What's been debunked? Uranium. Well, the sale went through. Yes, but it was completely nothing to do with cash flow to the Clinton Foundation and the Mid-Russian uranium deal. It had nothing to do with that, ever, nothing at all. Now, how do you know cash flow to the Clinton Foundation and Mid-Russian uranium deal? Doesn't that have anything to do with anything? No, and don't bring it up ever again. It's okay. I've had people tell me, well, you know, Russia already has nukes. What's the problem? Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that's how it works. I did not know that's how it works. The FBI Woods procedure. Let's talk about that right now. So apparently the Steele dossier was against actual FBI procedure. Gee, you think? How often in American history do we use the gossip of another country? How about never? To my UK viewers, I love you. But please thank GCHQ on my behalf for interfering in our election. Thanks a lot, British intelligence. Look, it's bad enough we don't have British intelligence. We have our own intelligence. But the funny thing is, the hilarious thing is that, oh, by the way, we had to utilize British intelligence to bolster our increasingly dwindling American intelligence with gossip and hearsay. So where's the intelligence? Thank you, Wine Doodle. So let's talk about the Woods procedures. Nunes raises question: did FBI violate Woods procedures? If you live by bureaucracy, your political demise will be rooted in bureaucracy. If you live by bureaucracy, your political demise will be rooted in. If you live by bureaucracy, your political demise will be rooted in bureaucracy. Devin Nunes is the man. He's everything that Adam Schiff wishes he could be. There are strict rules requiring that each and every fact presented in an FBI request to electronically spy on a U.S. citizen be extreme vetted for accuracy. So you can't use a dossier. So when Trump said, how come there's all these meetings? He can't name more than one meeting. And if it's a meeting with somebody of Russian descent, so what? You want to talk about demagogues or demagoguery. So now you can't meet with somebody who is of Russian descent? Why? And then they say, he's a McCarthy-era person. What does that even mean? Someone is of Russian descent. He has ties to Putin. You know who has ties to Putin? Vladimir Putin. You know who Vladimir Putin met? Bill Clinton. Trump didn't meet Vladimir Putin at his house. Bill Clinton did. Then you have the whole thing. Well, Hillary's not Bill Clinton. That's so sexist. Every single thing, every ounce of power Hillary has is derived from Bill. And every ounce of power Bill has is now nothing to do with his presidency, all the Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation has had scandal after scandal after pay-to-play scandal. From Haiti. The beautiful people of Haiti deserve $10 billion. Ever lost $1,000? Even if you could afford it, I'd be pissed. I'm sure everyone else would be pissed and angry. How about $10 billion that was just lost from the people of Haiti? Breeze Lover, find out why Trump can't fire them right now. See my tweet under your tweet for this live stream. Okay, so my tweet under your tweet. My tweet under your tweet. Tweet. All right, so hold on. All right, so let's see. Let's just go under my tweet here. Nope, can't find. Okay, I can't find your tweet, but find out why Trump can't fire them right now. Breeze Lover. Okay, you know what? I can't find your. I don't know your handle on Twitter. Trump doesn't make. Okay, so Trump doesn't want to make another problem. Well, I don't know if this is your tweet, but here, this guy is worse than Comey. His pathetic whining in New York Times said everything, who he is and how he operates. He's part of the deep state, and we're trying to keep their powers as long as they can. Therefore, the hoax of an investigation. So there is a belief, so Breeze Lover, that might have been yours, I'm not sure, but there is a belief that, just let them continue doing their thing. Let them continue and continue and continue. I respectfully disagree. If I could fire Mueller yesterday, I would. I think that waiting this long is probably a good thing. But you fire Mueller and you say, show the evidence. There's this reverence of the intelligence community where it's like, we can't say the CIA is lying because suddenly they have all this evidence. Well, where is it? When people say, well, let the investigation continue, it's an investigation into nonsense. Then Bill Maher was forced to say, well, not Trump, but people within the Trump administration. Who? And then Ben Shapiro, who I respect greatly, said, well, you know, Trump is either an evil genius or he is a buffoon or stupid. I think Trump is extremely intelligent. I actually like his personality. I think that he's not only very competent, but he has a lot more. He has a lot more wisdom than just pure intelligence that other people have. He's more street smart. I'd rather have street smart and wisdom than be this, you know, cerebral bureaucrat or politician. President Obama destroyed Libya and said that was his worst mistake. Trump's worst mistake pales in comparison. Nothing. If Trump's worst mistake is less egregious than destroying a country, an African nation where there are now slave auctions because of Obama's NATO bombing and because of Clinton's maniacal behavior, then Trump will have been a much better president. Ladies and gentlemen, I cried when Obama won, tears of joy. I voted for Obama twice. And like leaving a cult, I realized, oh my God, this president is not the anti-war president. He's not even less hawkish than most Trump Republicans are less hawkish than Obama was. So we have 973 people watching. Let's continue. Let's continue. So now we know that, oh, James Comey, you know, when all these people are coy and they're just the burden, ladies and gentlemen, the burden of what they know, the burden of what they know, the immense intelligence of James Comey. Why did you approve an investigation utilizing the Steele dossier when there's no evidence to back up the Steele dossier? And BuzzFeed is suing the DNC because the DNC never backed up anything that was in the Steele dossier. Not one thing. Oh, well, that's classified, you know. That's classified. That's classified, you know. We can't talk about that. Really? Well, that's an ongoing investigation, you know. I'm James Comey. I'm the director. If you only knew what I knew. Really? Well, we can't talk about FISA applications. Really? Well, there's a lot of information that if you were cool enough to know, if you were privileged enough to know, you would understand. Really? By the way, Jim Comey, did you violate any procedures? Like, oh, I don't know. Did you violate the Woods procedures? Did you go ahead and violate internal protocol? The FBI's Woods procedures? I'm sorry. We can't tell you right now whether we violated FBI protocol. Well, Comey, you want to know who's going to tell you? The Office of Professional Responsibility. They're after you. They're after Andrew McCabe. They're after Peter Strzok. They're after very likely after Lisa Page, Sally Moyer, Kevin Kleinsmith, FBI Agent 1. They're all going down by the Office of Professional Responsibility. There are patriots there. There are patriots in the NYPD, and there are patriots in the New York field office. We need more patriots. Maybe in Little Rock, Arkansas. Hello. If you're at the FBI in Little Rock, Arkansas, please go ahead and contact the FBI and the New York field office and the NYPD and the Office of Professional Responsibility. We need more patriots in the country to protect the country. Jeff McDaniel 1000. I live in Alaska and I'm pretty happy with the Korea outcome and Trump so far. Thank you. I am too. I think peace between North and South Korea is just one of the many reasons to when they're like, oh, it's not a big deal. It doesn't run. They are such hypocrites. If it happened under Obama, he would get another Nobel Peace Prize. Jeff McDaniel 100. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff McDaniel 100. Thank you. Paul Clank, thank you. If Hillary's supporters collectively donated $10 billion to a Haiti fund, I'll think about going easy on her. Exactly. Go fund her. Exactly. I had the great pleasure of interviewing Daddy Cherry, a brilliant Haitian-born journalist who has written books on Haiti and the Clinton Foundation, who has tirelessly documented, and a Politico journalist had the audacity to debate her, a Politico journalist, and you want to talk about identity politics, who was not Haitian-born because he lived in Haiti for a little while. He's then debating a Haitian-born journalist who exposed the Clinton Foundation along with Charles Ortel. And I had the great pleasure of interviewing the brilliant Charles Ortel. And I have a beautiful human being, Azande X, who watches this channel from Haiti and supports this channel. And so where's the money? $10 billion. Oh, I'm sorry. Was it 9.7? They get very, Hillary Clinton supporters get very arrogant. It wasn't 10 billion. It was 9.7 billion. Get it right. Fake news. It's like, okay. 9.6 or 9.8. By some estimates, it's over 10 billion was raised. Why? How did they profit? Because all of it was a networking event. The Clintons are they run by who you know. So Paul Clank is 100% right. Let's let them fund a $10 billion Haiti fund. And by the way, another evil, insidious thing that if God exists, he's watching. The people of Haiti suffered from an earthquake. And the Clintons, both Bill and Hillary, came in and swooped in and said, oh, let's raise all this money. And only 3% has been used for reconstruction projects. Where'd the money go? We still don't know where the $10 billion went. But, you know, if you lost $1,000, you'll remember. What if you lose 10 billion? What if you lose 1.2 billion, which was money raised for her campaign? Share this segment everywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because it will foreshadow and will explain exactly how the edifice, the charade, the facade will come crashing down. You have James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Bruce and Nellie Ohr at the DOJ, Sally Moyer, Kevin Kleinsmith at the FBI, Agent 1, and then 2 other anonymous agents. We have 12 people. Then you have Christopher Steele. Then you have Glenn Simpson at Fusion GPS. Then you have Sidney Blumenthal and Cody Shearer, who helped influence. They had their own dossier. Then you have James Clapper and John Brennan. John O'Brennan. So what, over 15 people now? And once you need one block in football to go take it to the house, one block, one. Just one. If you keep punching, okay, handing the ball to the running back, great running back, great line, pretty good defense. Stuffed, 3-yard gain, 2-yard gain, okay, punt. Stuffed, 3-yard gain, 4-yard gain, okay, punt. But if you keep on continuing with the run, what happens? You take it to the house. You don't give up on the run. You don't give up on the run. And that's the analogy. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Eric H526. I am so fortunate to have Eric H526 on my side. To be able to have that kind of support is a blessing for any writer or person in this. So Eric H526, thank you for everything that you do always. I don't think I thank you enough, but I just want to know that your friendship and support is appreciated. But Tiger's talons, yes. I saw Bo Jackson. Yoni A, hello. I saw Bo Jackson run 80 yards and 90 yards at the LA Coliseum in 88. I believe it was 88. Breeze Lover. Okay, I put it under all 4 of your tweets for this show. Name on Twitter is Breeze Lover. Okay. Find me sure. Okay, Breeze Lover. Okay, I will watch the video. Thank you. Breeze Lover. You couldn't find my tweet, so I'll try again. Listen to the beginning of this video. I just followed John Wick of Politics. Why Trump can fire them all right now. Very informative. All right. Thank you, Breeze Lover. I'll check that out. And I'll thank you. I'll check that out. Thank you, Breeze Lover. But that's the thing. Thank you, Breeze Lover. Greatly appreciated. That 1001. If you're handing the ball to Devin Nunes and you have Jim Jordan blocking and you have Jeff Sessions calling the plays, and you have Trump as QB, no, yeah. You continue to just pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball. You don't give up. Stupid coaches or stupid football teams give up on what they do best. And the reason I keep on bringing the analogy is you need one person. For Clinton to continue, she needs all of the people who have suffered because they conspired for her benefit to keep loyal. In football, you just need one block. So Clinton's defense has been good. Okay, she stuffed the run, but one block on the linebacker, one block, one ill-timed blitz, boom, 80 yards. It doesn't take much in football. If you love football, I love football. It doesn't take much. I mean, if you have a good line and a good running back, you just need a good block, one good block. I mean, you need a lot of good. Everyone has to do their job, but one great block, one great block. You block the middle linebacker, and Nunes takes it to the house, or Jim Jordan takes it to the house, or Matt Gaetz takes it to the house, or Ron DeSantis takes it to the house, or whatever. You cannot rely on Peter Strzok and then all the Strzok equals safety. Yoni, hey, it's true. You cannot rely on, constantly saying. You can't rely on saying, oh, well, Clinton's defense is too good. Clinton's defense is too good. She knows the plays. She knows the plays. In football, even if you know the plays sometimes, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Remember the 85 Bears with the refrigerator Perry? Walter Payton, one of the great, if Jim Brown and Walter Payton, two great, Jim Brown, Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, three greatest football players of all time. If you said that Walter Payton was number one of all time, I would agree with you. If you said Walter Payton was number one, if you said Jim Brown was number one of all time in the NFL, I would agree with you. If you say Jerry Rice, I'll agree with you too. But Refrigerator Perry, do you think it wasn't going to be a reverse? It was going to be straight up the middle, and you can't stop that. Can't stop that. At that point, I think it was what? He was 380 or maybe 400 pounds. How heavy was Refrigerator Perry? Okay. And this is the point. There'll be a method to the madness. William Perry. Wait. So he was 6'2", 335. Wow. Nowadays, that's svelte. No, 350. But back then it was, but still, even today, it's still, you give a guy like William Perry 6'2", 350. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think he's going to do? He's going to go straight up the middle. You're not going to stop him. And so when people say, well, Clinton knows too much, so what? So what? So she knows the plays. She knows what's going to play. She might not know. She might have dirt on people. Who cares? At a certain point, you continue. That's what Trump is doing. as Sessions is doing. People say, oh, HA, you know, she's never going to get indicted. I have so many haters. You have no idea how many haters I have. And it's because I say she'll get indicted, and people are like, she'll never get your, you know, oh my God. They take it as an affront that reality exists. And it has nothing to do with Clinton continually evading the law. Richard Nixon, Al Capone, Bill Clinton with his affair, Monica Lewinsky, they were all infinitely powerful than Clinton at this moment. And we have a Daily Mail article that was published, Associated Press article. It's the only one you could find where Christopher Wray says, yeah, if we find out that there was bias, which there was, the IG finds that, and nobody is being deceived by the IG saying, well, we didn't find bias of prosecutorial. We didn't find documentary or prosecutorial bias. We didn't find, documentary evidence of prosecutorial bias. Oh, is that right? You didn't find evidence of prosecutorial bias when the prosecutors were not given. We didn't use a grand jury. Why? Because of the amount of classified and special access program intelligence. Nobody knew, because I speak about this, and there's one Trump advisor, and we have people within the US government who have read about her top secret emails, and that will foreshadow everything. But her top secret emails, $3.99. And the next time I'm on CNN or MSNBC or RT, I will again say, because I did on RT and I did on MSNBC, I talked about special access program intelligence. The next time I am on TV, ladies and gentlemen, I will ask a very simple question. How did Hillary Clinton transfer special access program intelligence? Drop mic. You just leave the set. Take the mic. Just Agent Pepsi 1. Gowdy and company will take Rosenstein to the woodshed. Agent Pepsi 1, yes. I mean, Trey Gowdy, I'm hoping. Trey Gowdy, I'm hoping. I'll take, you know what? If it's the GOP draft, I'm not picking Trey Gowdy first. I'm picking Devin Nunes first, Jim Jordan second, or then one or two is fine, either way. Matt Gaetz, Ron DeSantis, Lee Zeldin, and Mark Meadows. Yes. That is a good line. That is a good football team. Yoni A. Do you remember the fridge at WrestleMania 2? Yoni A, I think that you were like my long-lost twin. Yes. Yoni A. The fridge. I am everything 80s and early 90s. I have everything from 1980 to 2003. Pretty much everything from then. The fridge was awesome. That was, I think, the best time for the NFL, the 80s. You had so many great teams. And I know that, I mean, there's the debate on here that we've had, because this live stream is awesome. It talks about so many things. One gentleman was like, Marino was the best, admitted HA. And I love Marino. Dan Marino is my favorite quarterback of all time. But in terms of the most, I would say, the best quarterback, just because they did face each other, maybe would Nunes slap the taste out of Rosie's mouth with that smirk? Marin Garcia. I don't even think he would have to. All he'd have to do is just Devin Nunes. See, Jim Jordan was very good. But remember, you're dealing with a master bureaucrat. So you have to make sure that when you're yelling, you can't say, did you subpoena phone calls? You have to be specific. Did you subpoena phone records? Did you subpoena taped phone conversations? Because and you saw it, and then people on left, liberal journalists were like, ha ha ha, he made Rosenstein look, or he made Jim Jordan look so bad. And then right then and there, I went ahead, how to subpoena phone records. So Jim Jordan was like, he was good. He was very good. But see, the thing is, when he says, the next time Jim Jordan yells, when he says, why are you keeping this from us? Then you give Sniffles the opportunity to say, I'm not doing the redacting, sir. I'm not doing the redacting. Sniffle, sniffle, sniffle. I'm not doing the redacting. Oh, really? Well, then who's doing the redacting? Who's doing the redacting then? We need to find out about the FISA, even though it's privileged information. We need to find out about the classified information. Lord knows Hillary put it everywhere but the U.S. government. You didn't mind then. We need to find out about ongoing I'm not going to comment on ongoing investigations. You better comment, or you're going to get the Office of Professional Responsibility on your behind. A Sojourner, thank you so much, as always, for your support of this channel. A Sojourner, Assange had a deal with immunity. Assange had a deal for immunity with the CIA in exchange for immunity. Comey nixed the deal. Yeah. Julian Assange should be free. Julian Assange is a publisher. And James Comey, as one of his many blunders, the giant imbecile of American political history, he's literally the biggest imbecile. That's just from a literally the biggest imbecile sense. The guy's almost 7 foot tall. He's literally a giant imbecile. And we have 988 viewers watching. We have almost 1,000 viewers watching. And this live stream is competing with people 5, 6, 7 times my size in terms of YouTube channels. And this live stream competes with them. We've reached 1,800 before. Channels 3 or 4 times the size of this channel don't even average that, or they do, but it's like 4 times the size of this channel. So there's 992 people. Text this out. We'll go for a little longer. Text this out. Tweet this out. Don't do a Strzok now. Don't text things you wouldn't want to, but thank you, Agent Pepsi One, for your kind words and for continuing to watch all the time. Tweet this out, send this out on Facebook, Instagram, Minds, Gab. I'm at H.A. Goodman Author Gab. I wish I was 6'5" or 6'6", but James Comey is 6'8", Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And if you live by bureaucracy, your political demise will. And again, so Comey thought he was slick by trying to hurt Julian Assange. At the end of the day, I am very happy and very proud to call Susie Dawson my friend, Elizabeth Voss my friend, and I'm very happy and very honored to be published in the Daily Caller, Free Julian Assange. I will give a 15-minute warning. Thank you, Papa D. Thank you, Papa D. I will give a 15-minute warning. Thank you, Papa D. To be published in the Daily Caller, Free Julian Assange. That was actually retweeted by Mrs. Christine Assange, Julian Assange's mother. I was very honored. It was also retweeted by WikiLeaks. I was very honored. And right when Trump was elected, I said President Trump should pardon Julian Assange. And that was in the Daily Caller also. I've written articles in defense of WikiLeaks and Julian Assange in the Huffington Post. And I'm just very proud that I am part of many, many, many people, journalists and many, many great people, many people who disagree with me politically, but many great people who are out there supporting WikiLeaks and Julian Assange. Julian Assange will be vindicated, and he will be free. And when he's free, Remember the people who supported him and remember the people who didn't, because I will remember them who didn't and who did. Larry Gorky not only was first 340, but he ran a 40 in 8 seconds. Oh my God. That's right. He was an athlete. An 8-second 40 is fast, ladies and gentlemen. An 8-second 40 is fast. I mean, for an average person. A sojourner POTUS does plan to pardon him. I hope so. I hope so. We know that Trump loves WikiLeaks. Everyone who and WikiLeaks did not dox ICE agents. That was a New York University professor. But when you look at the history of this time period, you have to understand that people who don't wield power correctly, one thing that Trump does that people are too stupid to realize on the left, because their version of power is fleeting fame. Fame is not power. You can be powerful because you're famous, but that's not power that is sustainable. The Clintons are powerful because of who they know and because of what they can provide. They can't provide much anymore, and everyone they know is now being hauled off to the Office of Professional Responsibility. Okay. But speaking of 40 times, Bo Jackson was 200. Bo Jackson 40 times. This is amazing. So Bo Jackson he ran a 4.1340, and his playing weight was about 220. So that's why when he just crushed Brian Bosworth in Seattle, you're not going to stop Bo Jackson. No one's going to stop a guy who's 220 pounds running a 4.13. That's insane. That's insane. He's running as fast as Deion Sanders, and he's weighing 40 pounds. He's 30 to 40 pounds heavier than Deion Sanders. That's insane. And hold on, fastest 40 times. NFL history. Okay, so just real quick. All right, so oh my God. There's like all these people that I didn't know. Oh wait, so wait, why am I? Well, this is why do I care about since 2013? Oh, I'll get to this in a second. Okay, so wait, the 13 fastest 40-yard dash. I'm sorry about this, but I'm just going to go ahead real quick. This is important. Sticks has Sticks is up here on the fastest 40-yard dash. Okay, so they're giving me these stupid lists. I want the all-time fat. Whatever. I'll get to this later. All right. So let's continue. Rosenstein is in the position to decide whether to pursue criminal charges against the man who provided the anti-Trump Oppo research. They're after Christopher Steele, ladies and gentlemen. They're after James Comey. They're also Christopher Steele, Glenn Simpson is being sued for defamation. The BuzzFeed is being sued for defamation. And all of this madness and insanity will end once and for all if we just find out how Hillary Clinton transferred through cell phone pics, through thumb drives, just, plugging her unencrypted server into the U.S. government somehow. How was it transferred? If you can write a letter, ladies and gentlemen, to, if you're in their congressional district, Jim Jordan, Devin Nunes, Matt Gaetz, Lee Zeldin, Mark Meadows, Ron DeSantis, and just simply say, can you please, this is H.A. Goodman, and me, we're asking, can you please find out how Hillary Clinton transferred top secret intelligence? They should have simply asked Christopher Wray that. They should have simply asked Rod Rosenstein that. And that's all they should have done, is simply asked Rod Rosenstein how she transferred top secret intelligence. Marin Garcia. I'm bringing bald spots back, Chris Strzok. Yes, Strzok has a mean bald spot. He has an old school bald spot. He comes from a generation, you do not shave your head if you have a bald spot. You just let it rock. You rock the bald spot. It's like a alien Martian landing pad. Marin Garcia, I'm bringing bald. He's probably like, you like my bald spot, baby, Lisa? We're going to stop Trump. Yeah. My bald spot, I'm waxing it up with turtle wax. So I put it on my Chevy, now on my bald spot. But just to let you know, there's about 30 to 40,000 text messages that they've withheld because Sniffles did not do the redacting. I didn't do the redacting, sir. Sniffles. I didn't do the redacting. Well, who did? Who did the redacting? Who did the redacting? Is there a professional marker / technological redacting person? Yes, there is. But who did the redacting? Don't blame them. Under Rosenstein, the Department of Justice and FBI have withheld and improperly redacted information Congress requested. One key withheld text exchange was dated August 9, 2016. It was between FBI's former top counterintelligence official Peter Strzok and his reported mistress, FBI attorney Lisa Page. Trump's not going to become president, right? Right? Lisa Page comes from the San Fernando Valley of California. She's a Valley girl. In my brain. Trump's not going to become president, right? Page wrote to Strzok, No, he's not. We'll stop it. Strzok answered, I'm the lumberjack. We'll stop it. It doesn't matter if Bill Maher and Peter Fonda and all of these people could care less if Clinton is a walking criminal or that President Obama utilized ICE just worse than Trump. Paul Johnson. HA, thanks for the live updates. Been watching since early 2016 and you demand dog. Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. And I just appreciate that greatly. Thank you, Paul. I mean, if a person's been watching this channel from 2016 onward, I just appreciate that so much. Thank you. That's why I want to let you know and everybody know. I'm at H.A. Goodman Author Gab. If you're on Gab, follow me there also, in case Twitter or whatever, Facebook, you never know. Twitter's so thank you, Paul. Jeff McDaniel, 100, a working person who wants your critical thinking on the YouTube video, The Plan to Save the World. I don't know. I haven't never seen that. Let me just. With all due respect to anyone, I'm not really into Q. And so, but I respect you if you are. No disrespect. No arguments in this chat room. I'm not into Q because I just want to know who's giving me information. Let's say someone happens to be right. Let's just say, for example, Q is in the know, but HA should grow your hair out like sticks. I save so much in hair gel this way. But Styx is awesome. I was telling people to watch Styx in 2016 when he was like picking states. Styx picked states in the electoral college. He was picking electoral college. He was accurately predicting the electoral college map. Whereas I was like, look, it ain't going to happen. Clinton's going to lose. He took it one step further. He's awesome. But anyway, so if somebody perhaps is in the know and they say, well, listen to me, but then that person anonymously can steer you in any direction they want, because then people will always say, well, look what this person did or that person did, and this person's credible, therefore they're going to take me into this angle. So that's very dangerous in my view, and that's why I don't know who Q is. So, and Q is different from an anonymous source. Anonymous source from a person that you know, at least you can say, okay, well, that person is, you know who I am. You're looking at me speaking. You can read my writing in The Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Daily Caller, all these places. A Sojourner. All they have to ask the Awan brothers how HRC transferred emails. I'd give them immunity to get her. Yes. And they're asking for immunity now, just like I said they would. Andrew McCabe is asking for immunity. You know who else is going to ask for immunity? Peter Strzok. You know what's going to happen? This is a slow destruction, dismantling, obliteration, whatever. This is a slow end to the bureaucratic empire the Clintons created. James Comey and James Clapper and John Brennan. John O'Brien. Oh, then there's this article, Rod Rosenstein felt used. He felt used. Why? Because he went ahead and he wrote the justification to fire James Comey. But with all due respect, here's my viewpoint. Even if Q was associated with Trump, you also don't know. Let's say he was, but you also don't know what kind of path this anonymous person would lead people. If the goal is to create credibility and then lead towards a dangerous place, you don't know if that's, the motive. But anyway, so, all due respect, but the Awan brothers, exactly. The Awan brothers, Platte River, Dado Inc., Paul Gambetta, which is Reddit Stone Tier, Brian Pagliano, all of these people outside the U.S. government are being brought in by Democrats because they don't like to use U.S. government servers or computers or networks, because they can't go ahead and raise money through that. I explained, but her deleted emails and the Awan brothers and Debbie Wasserman Schultz in my books below in the description section, they're still selling. Why, if you are working for a corporation, and I've worked for corporations before, you utilize their servers. So if you go on Gmail, they can still see what you're writing. But Democrats don't like to use the servers of the United States government. So they have the Awans, they have Platte River, they have Dado Inc., they have Brian Pagliano, they have Justin Cooper, they have all these people who use outside servers to go ahead and hide things. So I'm going to give you my 15 minutes in, 15-minute warning. So in about 15 minutes, we'll wrap it up. Jeff McDaniel 100. So 15 minutes or so, we'll wrap it up. Jeff McDaniel 100. Thank you. I agree. That's why I asked you. Yeah. So, yeah. I think that the Q phenomenon is, if they say, well, it gets people interested, that's fine. But Rick Yurzik. Hakeem Grant ran a 4.140 in 2016. Bo was second. Oh, wow. Yeah, but the thing is, Bo Jackson at 220, 216 or 220. I mean, that's just unbelievable. The amount of power. He was just naturally, there's natural power there. It's just unbelievable. So let's just continue here. Trump's never going to become president, right? What about Hillary Clinton's never going to become president, right? Lisa wrote to Strzok. No, she's not. We'll stop it. We'll stop Clinton from becoming president. We can't take the risk of Clinton becoming president. So we have to engage in an insurance policy. We talked about in Andrew McCabe's office, we can't take the risk of Hillary Clinton becoming president. Imagine if they spoke like that. I had to smell Clinton supporters at a Nordstrom or at a Macy's, and they smell and they stink and they're just disgusting. Oh my goodness. Hillary should lose 1 million to 0. Clinton is a danger. Thank you. I agree. That's why I asked you. Yeah. So Jeff McDaniel, I agree with you. So the thing with nowadays, one thing that I do, and that I'm in great standing with YouTube always, is that when I say something, I link to the New York Times or the Hill or the Guardian or the Washington Post or Newsweek, or I'll even link to CNN or NewYorkMagazine.com. If you link to reputable sources, there's enough. New York Times, there's already enough. Public, Noam Chomsky stated this. Noam Chomsky stated that the public record is enough in these publications. The Hill, I love The Hill. I was a contributor to The Hill. Noam Chomsky stated that there's enough public record information that's documented. Documented public record information. Documented public record information to obliterate any propaganda scheme or blitz or whatever. Because what happens is the mainstream says, Russia did it, Russia did it. 3 months prior, we investigated, we found nothing. There are articles, FBI investigated Flynn, FBI investigated Trump. There's no evidence. And then you have Bill Maher the other day say, why are all these meetings taking place? Well, first of all, there are not many meetings. Secondly, these meetings, that doesn't mean anything. Why did they sell uranium? I mean, if you want to ask that question, those questions, why did they sell uranium after cash flowed the Clinton Foundation amid Russian uranium deal? So when you have 945 people, thanks for reading those, liars, so I don't have to. They make me ill. Could HA link to the archive instead, like sticks? You know, I probably will. I guess I should. But one thing I like is that nobody, it's like the primary source right there. It's the primary source right there, and nobody can say, well, you know, this archive link is a little bit different from the actual link. No, it's right there. And the great thing is like a lot of these, every once in a while, what they'll do is just really, really shady and dirty, really dirty. What they'll do is they'll delete or they'll alter the title because of some liberal journalist who will make a big stink. So what the Associated Press did was they did this fantastic report, and this relates to what Silence Do Good just talked about right now. This fantastic report, and that you need the archive for. And the original title was Millions Flowed to Clinton as She Met with Donors. Then it was like neutered and just mangled and butchered to like Clinton met with donors, or no, what? Hold on. Here's the actual. How did they just destroy this? Okay, so AP Clinton 85 donors. Oh, many donors to Clinton Foundation met with her at state. It used to be 85 donors gave $156 million. Combined, the 85, this is the Associated Press. Combined, the 85 donors contributed as much as $156 million. At least 40 donated more than 100 grand and 20 gave more than $1 million. Do the math problem there. Do the algebra problem there. If you have $156 million, ladies and gentlemen, and 20 give over $1 million, how much more over $1 million do they have to give? Probably around 5 million or more. So notice how all the money flows, all the massive transfers of wealth take place with Clinton. So when the suspicion of Bill Maher and others, I keep on mentioning Bill Maher because it's like he has such a huge platform and he just goes ahead and blindly repeats ridiculous, easily refuted statements. Why were there so many meetings? That question is not grounds for an investigation. And there weren't so many meetings. There's one meeting that they always fall back on, and it had to do with Clinton's unencrypted server. Now, if you're talking about classified intelligence being given to Trump Jr., then you have to find out, well, how come classified intelligence is outside of the U.S. government? Oh, yeah, she used the private server. So even the Trump Jr. meeting is linked to Clinton's unencrypted server. And I am going ahead and everybody subscribe to Disobedient Media. Elizabeth Voss is a brilliant journalist. And just every day there's like just amazing revelations from Disobedient Media. But we'll continue. Cheryl Atkinson, The Hill, all that, and yet the clear message delivered last weekend's hearing was we're not to worry. Material isn't being provided to Congress. We're told nobody's hiding anything. It's just that it's part of an ongoing investigation. We're to trust without the ability to independently verify that blacked out messages and emails and other evidence are legitimately withheld, although the ones making those decisions are the feds themselves who are potentially under investigation. As for previously improper redactions, we're told we're paranoid or conspiratorial if they're dubious about the next batch. When we ask who was responsible for the improper redactions in the first place, the question is diverted. We can assume that the same people are stalling the job, but that would be conspiratorial. And most of all, even in the face of the DOJ's Inspector General faulting dozens of top officials, lawyers and ethics officials at the FBI and Justice Department, were to believe that any who are still there and their friends will do the right thing, even if it comes down to exposing their own misconduct. Lastly, during his testimony, Rosenstein assured Congress that he would certainly discuss with Mueller if there were any conflicts of interest. Don't worry, he'll take care of it. Cheryl Atkinson is an Emmy Award-winning investigative journalist, author of the New York Times bestsellers The Smear and Stonewalled, and host of Sinclair Sunday's TV program Full Measure. She's fantastic. She is fantastic. They're not fooling anyone, ladies and gentlemen. Bible or traditions? If my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Chapter 2, 7:14, or 2, chapter 7:14. Bible or traditions, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land. Thank you, Bible or traditions. Thank you. Thomas Brigantino. As always, Bible or traditions and Thomas Brigantino, thank you for your continued support. Thomas Brigantino. I have a 721-page document dense with information, pointed resources, and all things Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, the email server, and many other relevant topics, circumstances, and people. How can I share it? Medium is one way. Steam it is another way. Twitter is another way. You just have to, that's a long thread. But ladies and gentlemen, help me out here. What's some, wonderful legal ways that Thomas Brigantino can share? So Thomas Brigantino. Medium is one way. You can write a Medium article, and you can write an article on Steemit. Go to steemit.com, and you can then go to Medium. I guess you could write a long Facebook post, but then Facebook, you can post it on Gab. Your boy Death. Yes, Emmett Smith is one of the greatest ever, and I love Emmett Smith. I think Emmett Smith was amazing. He did benefit also from the historically amazing Dallas line. That Dallas line was amazing. 90s Dallas Cowboys was, I think the 90s Dallas Cowboys are pretty awesome. I would say for that 1 year, the 85 Bears, before defenses could pick up what they were doing. But yeah, Thomas Brigantino, if you have a 721-page document that's, of course, legal and, able to be published and all that stuff, Medium or Steemit. If you're talking about dominant teams, well, of course, just in terms of record, 72 Dolphins. But I wouldn't put the 72 Dolphins. I would rather have the 85 Bears. I would rather have the 88 Niners, much rather. Or the 89 Niners, sorry. The 89 Niners destroyed the Broncos. I remember that game. And so then there were the 94 Niners, and that team was just insane. You had Steve Young and then Jerry Rice and then, Ricky Waters. That Ricky Waters was, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Ricky Waters was like, let's look at his stats real quick. Sorry, going 2 hours in. Got to look at Ricky Waters' stats. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. In 2000, he was over 1,000 yards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight years. But you got to understand also what Ricky Waters did was he was a great receiver. And you don't see too much of that nowadays. 2020 will be recorded, will be record-breaking for the black vote. I'm a black veteran Trump supporter who mistakenly voted for Odama the first time. There are many like me who are woke. Keep up the great work. Don't tread on me. Thank you. Thank you. Don't tread on me. 2020 will be record-breaking for the black vote. I am a black veteran Trump supporter who mistakenly voted for Odama the first time. There are many like me who are woke. Keep up the great work. Don't tread on me. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Don't tread on me. Thank you. I have been saying for a long time, there will be more black voters, Jews, Latinos, Asians who are going to vote for Trump, either because they like Trump's policies or because they can't stand Democrats. Because Democrats told us it's lesser of two evil. Okay. If it's, let's say people don't like peace between North Korea. Let's say people don't like a good economy. Let's say people don't like a less hawkish foreign policy. Let's say people don't like the fact that he's exposing FBI corruption and all this. If you're stuck with, oh, let's just destroy ICE, abolish ICE, but ICE is okay under Obama, and or when Democrats are okay with it under Bush and Obama, they're okay, but now it's not. Then you're left with the choice of a Democrat who, by the way, will cheat and will not allow anyone like Bernie Sanders or Nina Turner or Tulsi Gabbard or anyone to win other than an approved Clinton donor candidate. Don't tread on me. Thank you so much. God bless you. And thank you for your service to this country. And thank you. And almost 10% of black voters voted for Trump. And that was more than Romney. And I foresee more people of all backgrounds, black, Jewish, Latino, Asian, voting for Trump. Horace, thank you so much, Horace, for your continued support. Thank you, Horace, for your continued support of this channel. Thank you. Thank you. Don't tread on me. Thank you, Thomas Brigantino. And it's 2 hours in, and I just plug. I have a Second Amendment channel. I've been doing these live streams, and I haven't been to the range, but I have a surprise, a very nice surprise. There's a gentleman who gave me an idea, and I can't wait. I can't wait this week, later this week. But as everybody, oh my goodness. Space Force One. Thank you, Space Force One. My goodness. Thank you, Space Force One, for your generosity. And just thank you. Thank you so very much. Galactic Alert. Protect the Second Amendment at all costs. Alien civilizations. And Tamara Friedman, you are absolutely wonderful. Thank you. I saw that right here. Galactic Alert. Protect the Second Amendment at all costs after civilizations which give up their alien civilizations which give up their rights lead to hysteria and mass invasions of Klingons. We all know how irritating and stubborn the Klingons can be. USS Sharman, USSF Sharman 409. Sharman 409 deport. Weapon up. Weapon up. Space Force One out. Space Force One. Thank you. Space Force One. Thank you. Space Force One, I have a California compliant AK-47 that is apparently the laughingstock of the Second Amendment community, but I love it and I'm happy with it. Silence Dogood, I'm taking first gun class Tuesday. Good. Be safe, have a great instructor, and ask him also about revolvers, not just semi-autos. Revolvers are fantastic in many, many ways, especially ladies. I think for ladies also, revolvers in many ways will work better. There are revolvers that are just easier to shoot than semi-autos. Space Force One, like I was saying, first, thank you so much. Space Ghost is probably the best character of all time. And I see Space Force One, I appreciate it. Thank you. And protect the Second Amendment at all costs. Why am I happy for a conservative Supreme Court? Because I'm letting you know, and Space Force One, I'm letting you know, and I know that I know that Don't Tread on Me, and Horace, and Thomas Brigantino, and Space Force One, I know that everyone agrees with me here. The Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights must be protected, but let me explain something to you. I come from the left. I have dear friends good people who are misguided. And I can tell you right now something, and I want you to remember this, and they're wonderful people, they're good people, I don't want to demonize anyone, but they know not what they're doing. And if they could, they would sign a bill in Congress to try to prevent semi-auto handguns, 9mm even. I'm telling you. And because Chelsea Handler said, well, what'd she say? She said, my security doesn't have semi-automatics and they're not just, slaughtering people. Yeah, that makes no sense. First of all security, like if you have security in your Hollywood and they're not with a Glock, well, then let me tell you something. They're with a 357 and a 357 is more powerful than any Glock. And when I say more powerful, I mean we can go through walls and, certain walls and in an apartment in a 357. Well, I don't know, a 44 for sure. But revolvers, the higher caliber revolvers. So if Chelsea Handler has security with a 44 Magnum or a 357 Magnum, you're dealing with a lot more powerful of a firearm. Space Force One, thank you so much. When I wrote that article in the Daily Caller, and it's below. Well, it's actually in every H.A. Goodman Second Amendment pinned comment. Gun Owners of America retweeted my guns.com article, or the guns.com wrote an article about me. And the NRA, silence do good. Instructors, FBI agent, don't assume it's a guy. I apologize if I did. You know what? The wonderful lady who is teaching you, ask her to also show you how revolvers work. And I just think that for the first time, even though I'm not supremely decades of experience, but I know a heck of a lot more than I did prior to first getting in. And I would say that that revolvers are a great introduction into the Second Amendment. Of course, I bought a 500 Smith & Wesson, 50 caliber Smith & Wesson round, 10.5-inch barrel. Like it's like if I want to take out a car engine, I could, I guess, or the Loch Ness Monster or the Yeti. Don't tread on me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't tread on me. Space Force One, thank you. Don't tread on me. Thank you again. Very, very kind. And God bless you. And thank you for your service to this country. Thank you for your service to this country. Don't tread on me. Vance, my ancestors fought to have gun rights. I'd rather die than lose my right to protect myself. We need more good people with firearms. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. In Israel, even though I have a friend who's a good buddy who's Jewish also, and he's actually for gun control, and silence do good. It's a guy, no worries, me and my gal pal, going to be grannies with guns. Yes, love grannies with guns. But in Israel, for example, I have family in Israel, and I can tell you that everyone is pretty much armed all the time. Then they say, my friend rebuttal, when I debate him, he's like, well, so Vance, you're 100% right, and this relates to Silence Space Force One. The rebuttal from my friend, who's also Jewish, he says, well, it's gun laws in Israel, very difficult to acquire a gun. He doesn't realize that, and this is actually what Hamas says when they try to blow up a bus. Everyone in Israel has mandatory service, men and women. So everyone is issued an M16, or they have a Tavor, and they have they don't have F-16s anymore. They have the newer ones. Thomas Brigantino, link sent to PDF on Clinton file located at Mega, sent to your YouTube. Oh, okay. To your YouTube Messenger. I don't know how to use that, though. That's the thing, Thomas Brigantino. And of course, outside, I hear fireworks already. July 1st. But Space Force One, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So Paul Clank, you can leave a loaded revolver in a drawer for 20 years, pull it out of the store. Yeah, exactly. That's one thing I love about revolvers, and a 357 is like the most power you'll ever need for anything. But no, one thing that the Second Amendment. Oh yeah. So anyway, I'm getting a debate with my friend of mine who is Jewish, and I have family in Israel. I've been to Israel 5 times, and I can tell you that everyone has access to firearms. I can tell you there are more firearms floating around in people's apartments, and you don't see mass shootings because Israel still today is besieged. So the average person is like, we need this for survival. But then I get the rebuttal. Well, Israel has tough gun control laws. No, they don't. Because the reality is that everyone is armed. From what I remember, maybe I haven't been there in like 15 years or so, but I was there 5 times prior to. And so everyone has access to firearms in Israel. I remember being there and I see my cousin's M16 just in the kitchen, and everybody's armed because they have access to the weapons they're given because they have compulsory military service. Everyone does. Everyone, men and women, are issued rifles. They don't have the same problems that we have here with copycat tragedies. Yet they're completely trained. Yeah, they're trained from youth. And there are more firearms in Israel just everywhere. That's why you see when Hamas wants to target Israelis, they don't do a mass shooting. They're now doing stabbings. So that's another thing. Someone rolls up on you, and then in Jerusalem, they stab you. I mean, again, like in the UK, so this is Space Force One. I'm talking more about this because your generosity is unbelievable. Thank you. But I can tell you that when they try to go in Israel, when Hamas tries to blow up, when they try to hurt Israelis, they don't do a mass shooting because literally there's a Tavor or there's firearms like on the next street. I'm talking in people's houses it's government issued. So I mean, it's just every single person. Retired law enforcement started with revolvers, super accurate, super reliable, never a jam. Space Force One, thank you. Thank you again, Space Force One. And one thing I love about revolvers also, for me, again, YouTube policies, I'm not advocating anything, If you want advocacy or, there's other, like Iraq veteran 8888, he knows about firearms a million times more than I do. But for me, see, I enjoy semi-auto handguns because I'm more into it now, and it's enjoyable and it's fun. You get like 10 is the limit, but like 6 for the average revolver, 6 rounds or so. But 6 rounds is enough, I'd say. But one thing I enjoy, the accuracy, yes, and the reliability. It's not going to jam. Okay. It's just not going to jam. You don't have to forget also, I mean, it's good. It's a good thing semi-autos, like for example, 1911s have safeties. But it's not going to jam. Revolvers are awesome. And they can be quite powerful. I mean, a 357, correct me if I'm wrong, is more powerful than any semi-auto. More powerful than a 10 millimeter, I believe. Yeah. Don't tread on me. The left calls for civil war and untrained. Yet I spent 17 years in every war zone, including 3 tours on the DMZ. God bless you. Thank you. They better be careful. Well, don't tread on me. Thank you so much. And God bless you for your service. Thank you. I can tell you the left is bluffing. They don't mean what they don't even know. They don't even The left is bluffing like the CIA and NSA are bluffing about the Steele dossier. They don't want a civil war because all the Second Amendment advocates have all the firearms. So it's like, they call for civil war, but they want gun controls. It doesn't really work that way. They're untrained. I have friends who they don't even really know how to pick up like a firearm. They don't even know how to like pick it up safely. They don't know how to load or unload the magazine of a semi-auto, or even load a revolver. It's just, to them, it's just a scary animated object. It's not an inanimate object, it's an animated object. And so when you learn about the Second Amendment and you realize that, hey, you control your destiny, you control your life. Inanimate objects or the government does not control your life. You control your destiny. You decide what you want in your life. And if you believe in God, only God can touch you. No other man or state or bureaucracy can touch you. But don't tread on me. Thank you so much for your years and years of service, especially on the DMZ. And thank God now Trump has, it's good. It's very good to see Moon Jae-in of South Korea and Kim Jong-un shake hands. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. It's beautiful. Don't tread on me. And Space Force and all who serve, thank you. So thank you, Space Force. Thank you. Don't tread on me. Thank you for all the veterans who watch an active duty. I am very blessed to have active duty soldiers watching as well. I'm very blessed. And I'll just end it with a couple more minutes of talk about firearms, and of course, safely and responsibly. I'm not advocating anything. I could just tell you what I found out in my own enjoyment. Like I said, I do like revolvers a lot, and semi-autos are a lot more fun. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. They're awesome. They're fun, but revolvers like never jam. Just like somebody said, never jam. And it's interesting also to see the evolution, and also like the fact that people don't understand that shotguns, for example, are can do a lot more damage than ARs. People don't get that. The Virginia Tech shooter, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Vietnam veterans. Thank you, veterans. If you served in the DMZ or the Vietnam or, Iraq, Afghanistan, thank you. But people don't understand that, shotguns, the Virginia Tech shooter had a 22 and a 9mm handgun. It's a matter for me of the same thing in Israel, for example. My family in Israel, the reason that Hamas or all the others, they don't go on shooting rampages, because they will be then stopped by other people with guns, Israelis with guns. That's why you don't have mass shootings in Israel. That's why before the wall and extra security measures in Israel, you had constant buses and all these things, that these attacks, because there are no mass shootings in Israel, because what happens is there are many armed Israelis. The thing with the United States of America is that we have when a person wants to commit a copycat tragedy, that person, God forbid, can go into a school and they're not stopped. When they say good guys, good people, or good gals with guns, it's true. Antifa attacked a prayer march in Portland. I have to look that up. A Sojourner. See, again, the whole thing with violence. If you've convinced yourself that everyone's a Nazi, then and you call even Jewish people Nazis. And think about it. And I hate to just, the reason I brought up Israel is because of gun laws, and everyone has access to firearms. That's why Hamas, and they target civilians in Israel through other means, not through mass shootings, because that would be pointless, because everyone's armed. The Second Amendment is on steroids in Israel, on steroids. But here you need, if you putting my background, fine. In the high holy days, and whether it's Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah in Los Angeles, there are armed guards outside a bunch of synagogues. Why? Why? Because if you're a targeted community, whether it's a gay nightclub in Orlando or a synagogue, or if you're a targeted community, and look what happened in Dylan Roof, okay, murdering black worshipers in a church. Okay, if you're a targeted community, you protect yourself. Okay, or if you just targeted in general, God bless Chelsea Handler for protecting herself. It's fantastic. I hope she stays protected and lives, a long, happy life. But gee, everyone else in the U.S. would like that. Bree's lover, the left is anti-gun because they can't imagine trusting themselves with one. Exactly. They get triggered and can't compose themselves. Exactly. In my opinion, it's possible. They don't understand. They don't understand, and they think that they're animate objects. Like their version. The reason they're anti-gun so much is because what they say is they have this miraculous person who will just jump in the way of an active shooter and jump in the way and say. So when they say, well, this firearm is scary, that firearm is scary, they think that, well, you can do more damage. The average hunting rifle or shotgun, you can do way more damage than an AR. Well, I'll say the way Israel brutalizes Palestine, I would say that I want a Palestinian state, but do some research on so if there's a person out here, do some research on Auschwitz and Babi Yar, Ukraine. 30,000 Jews perished in 2 days. 30,000 in 2 days were murdered. That's the Holocaust. Families shoved into gas chambers in Auschwitz. Read a book on the Holocaust. This is not, we're not talking about Hamas trying to go after, the Abbas and the West Bank and Gaza. The leadership don't even, aren't at peace with each other. Project Veritas proved in 2016 that DNC uses operatives, yes, exactly, to incite violence at Trump rallies. Yes, it's a widely reported by MSN. The people lost their jobs over it. Yes. When you have a great deal of money, flowing into a political organization, and everything is relative, and you're trying to go ahead and you say Trump is this ogre, Trump is this madman, Trump is trying to go ahead and Trump is trying to create this havoc and chaos. You had Project Veritas and Clinton and Democratic operatives were outed and exposed, and they were forced to. So Hugh Reck, exactly. They were forced to resign because they did try to incite violence, and they were actually saying, "Yeah, it's not that difficult to find people who incite violence." Don't tread on me. Thank you. During my tour in Afghanistan, the enemy Taliban we captured told us that they will cut our heads off, and yet we still treated them humanely. Wow. I appreciate that. During my tour in Afghanistan, the enemy Taliban we captured told us that they will cut our heads off, and we still treated them humanely. Wow. And this is not publicized in the mainstream. I believe that veterans like Don't Tread on Me and other veterans, please write your Medium is a great tool. Steam It is a great tool because you can kind of make, they haven't really, you can kind of make money from the crypto. I don't know exactly how it works, but so Don't Tread on Me. During my tour in Afghanistan, the enemy Taliban we captured told us they will cut our heads off, and yet we still treated them humanely. I think that the veterans of our country should write down their experiences. Don't tread on me. If I, may, I think that your experiences need to be heard by everyone. I think that all veterans should write down their experiences, good or bad, especially ones that shed light into the nature of war that that the average American does not know. People like Chelsea Handler have a problem with gun control, or Alyssa Milano, but they don't have a problem with regime change. They don't have a problem with continued. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you. We're approaching 3 hours. This has been an absolute amazing live stream. The super chat to everyone, Space Force One. There's a reason that James Madison wrote the Bill of Rights. The first 10, he knew that they all knew that future governments would want to eventually disarm citizens. They knew that, and they knew that power within. Did you notice Space Force One? And everyone here, don't tread on me. Hugh Reck. Did you notice Breeze Lover? Did you notice A Sojourner? Did you notice Silence Too Good? Did you notice everyone in the super chat and everyone here? Did you notice that FBI? I think it was Sally Moyer. I don't know if it was Sally Moyer. Which agent? Maybe it was Kevin Klein's. No, gosh, I forgot which agent. But they said how upset they were that Trump won, and it was one of the FBI agents in the text messages said, "I'm going to carry both my guns now." Well, gee, thanks. Must be nice to be a corrupt agent, state, federal law enforcement official who happens to be covering for Clinton, who has the luxury of walking around with both her guns. That must be really nice, because concealed carry is almost impossible in LA. That must be really nice. So the FBI agent who hates Trump is going to carry both. I don't know if it was Sally Moyer, but his or her guns, and they texted that. The NRA should make an issue of that. I was very fortunate to be retweeted, my article to be retweeted by the NRA. Space Force One, thank you so much. Everyone, don't tread on me. Thank you so much. And we still have 766 people watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a pretty epic live stream. I'll be back a little later for HA After Dark. If you are up, night owls, I'll be back. Thank you so very, very much. God bless. Share this segment. Oh, my goodness. Ame, thank you. Get a PayPal because Patreon. Okay. And me because Patreon double bills. Okay. Thank you. Good night. Thanks for True News. I'm going to get a PayPal. You're right. Ami, thank you. Thank you, Ami, again for your support. Space Force One, Ami, thank you for your support for this channel. Thank you, everyone. Then I will get a PayPal. Thank you, everyone, for your support of this channel. Good night, and thanks for True News. Ami, thank you so very much. Space Force One, don't tread on me. Thank you all. At the end of the day, 748 people watching this. And I will also experience, we'll all experience a massive sea change, because it's not, what the Democratic Party is doing is not sustainable, ladies and gentlemen. It is not sustainable. It cannot be sustained. It cannot be sustained. And every day we're proven right. Every day we're vindicated. You live by bureaucracy, your political demise will be rooted in bureaucracy. The Office of Professional Responsibility is now looking at everybody from Comey to Andrew McCabe and on down, to Peter Strzok on down. 10 people total, over 10 people. Thank you, Ami. And thank you, Space Force One. And thank you, Don't Tread on Me. Thank you, everyone. God bless. I'll see you in a couple of hours for HA After Dark. Share this segment everywhere. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. These live streams are fantastic. To the super chat, you give me the incentive to keep going. Otherwise, I would just upload my segments like I've done for 2 years. Thank you so much for this fantastic, fantastic discussion live stream. We're almost at 3 hours, and it was just fantastic. Thank you again. God bless. Thank you.